Welcome to Raise It Up with me, Dani Kagan, entrepreneur, mom of two, and your host. This is a place for real, unfiltered conversations about growth with ambitious women, mothers, and entrepreneurs who are building businesses while raising families. Together, we're redefining what peak performance looks like and reshaping modern motherhood. From parenting and personal growth to business and beyond, let's dive in with practical insights, empowering takeaways, and inspiring conversations. I'm excited that you're here. Let's go. Today's episode is powered by Yorkdale Lincoln, my absolute favorite dealership. From your very first visit to every drive in your Lincoln, you'll feel the calm, confidence, and care that defines the Lincoln way. Enjoy concierge-level service, seamless technology, and through our exclusive partnership with Maven, that's my brand, every new Lincoln owner receives a limited edition pair of luxury slippers crafted for comfort that extends beyond the drive. Experience the difference at Yorkdale Lincoln. Hey everyone, and welcome to the podcast. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. It's so great to have you. I'm Dani, and as I record this, I have 4-year-old daughter Aria, who just started JK, and I have an 8-month-old baby, Eden, and I have a business, Maven, that I believe is going to be the next big global brand. So stay with me on this journey because it's a fun one and it's crazy. It is season 2 of the podcast under a new name, and I'm really excited about it. I feel like I changed the name for a couple reasons. I'll share this with you. I mean, the podcast has always been about building something meaningful, but the heart of it is really about raising kids with intention and also raising the bar on yourself and your business. And Raise It Up is just like a feeling a little bit more true to who I am. It's a bit more aspirational and more aligned with the conversations that we're actually having here on the podcast. So there you go. So this season, holy smokes, you guys, it's so jam-packed. I have some phenomenal guests. These episodes coming up are just going to blow your mind and really help you level up your game. I know they are helping me on a daily basis. I've actually listened back to a few of these twice now because they are just so good. For those of you who are new, the real reason I started this podcast is because building as a mom in today's world is really different. You know, traditional experiences and entrepreneurial content, which is mostly men, often without kids, or I'm finding that they've had kids after their success. It kind of seems to be the norm. And I know I consume a lot of that type of content, and maybe you do too. So for us moms who are really ambitious, there really is a unique lens and a major physical, mental, emotional shift for us. Physical recovery, possibly you're breastfeeding, guilt around not breastfeeding, there's hormonal shifts, emotional labor of parenting while you're building a business, or creating anything really at all. There's a lot of you out there who are thinking about building a business, and, I want these episodes to really help you and empower you to do that. There is this kind of invisibility of this stage in mainstream entrepreneurship conversations. And I've built this podcast to help close even a small part of that gap. And yes, we're seeing more women share their messy, crazy stories of building with kids. I'm seeing it with Sarah Blakely and Rebecca Minkoff, and there's more coming out talking about it and being a bit more raw. And it is proof that the narrative is shifting, and I want to be a part of that conversation with you and speak to even more women that, really want to dive deep into the season of life of raising kids, building businesses, and just like going after their dreams. Moms, entrepreneurship is messy and it's very layered, and we're putting out fires during the day, and then we're like going home to soothe a sick child in the middle of the night. So it's an enormous load, and it's invisible for the most part, but it's one that's very common. So we're here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about that in the coming episodes. So one thing I do love about male entrepreneurs is they talk a lot about productivity and routines and habits. And in today's episode, I really want to talk to you about how I'm leveling up my game, using some of the great tools that some great entrepreneurs can give us, but under the lens of being a mom. and it is different. So how do we integrate that into our lives? Because it looks different and it feels different, right? Let's go into one of the easy ones, which is a morning routine. We hear this all the time. Morning routine sets the day up. Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. So many other people talk about how to have a morning routine, but that's kind of a joke for someone like me when your kid's waltzing in at like 6 a.m. and ruins like any kind of, potential of you stretching or doing, anything of a routine. And so your mornings like mine are probably quite interrupted. And I'm in the season right now that like every night is and every morning is kind of like a roulette. So you never know what it's going to be like. And so success frameworks need reframing for working mothers. So we're here because we're ambitious. We're going to come back to the morning routine in a second, but we're going to raise the bar on ourselves and grow. And I'm going to share with you the 3 things that have really helped me raise the bar on myself without putting too much pressure on myself and making it stupid simple. So the first one we talked about is routine. And it's like, it feels impossible most days and you never know what kind of sleep you're going to get. And so we know that consistency is the key to success, right? So if you're not going to know what time you're going to wake up in the morning because of children, because of overnight, whatever, there's this concept of chipping away at something every single day. And so one of the things that I do regardless is I stretch. And it might look different every morning, but I'm doing the same thing every morning. I'm doing the stretching. Maybe it'll be 2 minutes because the kids have woken up and it's chaos and it's like the quickest lunges, neck rolls, shoulder rolls. I do a cracking my back exercise on the floor. I do a quick downward dog, quick vinyasa. And sometimes it's like a 10, 15, 20 minute stretch, which is like the absolute greatest. And like, that's a gold morning. Again, every time you think about what's that one thing that you could do consistently every morning, think about something that is tangible, that makes you feel amazing and that you could do whether your kids are up, you're not feeling amazing, the kids are asleep, anything. It always can be in your morning routine. So stretching over sweating is what I usually say to myself because I get really hard on myself as a ex-competitive dancer. And I'm like, every workout has to be a sweating workout. And that's not necessarily true. And honestly, in today's season, the season that I'm in, which is young children and a really, really busy lifestyle, it doesn't have to be a perfect workout. Set the timer, stretch while the kids nap, do the mobility instead of a HIIT. It will be okay. And honestly, even once you get into the stretch, sometimes you already feel like you want to do more and like get the sweat. So stretching over sweating, stretching, that's my thing. And I want you to think about what your thing is, right? And again, this is like going back to like what success means, right? Like success isn't built on intensity, it's built on like consistency, even if it looks different than it did before. Like I used to be doing these crazy F45 classes and all these, all of them. And I would like go out there and sweat my guts out and like wanting to puke after a class. And that's just not where I am in my life now. And that's okay, because it's going to look different because I'm in a different season. But the success is built on me consistently showing up on my yoga mat to stretch every day, no matter what it looks like. And we don't need to copy someone else's perfect day. Like listening to some of these people and they're doing all these crazy things. They have time to journal and meditate and stretch and do this. Like, I don't think so. That doesn't work for me. I need to design for the season that I'm in and start feeling more like myself. So that's one thing that I do every day. And it's going to feel messy. You might miss a day, and that's okay. That happens, but just jump back on the horse and keep going, right? Like, I think a lot of people give up if they miss 2 days or 3 days of doing something. They're like, oh, that's not working. Well, no, you just didn't jump back on the horse. So the consistency is the key. You missed a day, get back on it. The second thing I love this one. This is going to feel uncomfortable for a lot of people. The second thing I do to raise the bar on myself. Are you ready for this one? I take at least one risk a day. And that's going to feel uncomfortable for a lot of people. It's going to be probably the most uncomfortable part of your day. but it's going to be the most expansive part of your day without question. And this could be any type of risk, by the way. It doesn't need to be like, oh my God, I need to go like jump out of a plane. It could be like send a message to someone that you think you have no business messaging. It could be making a pretty big ask of someone. It could be going to a brand new workout class that you might not feel ready for, or a dance class. It could be, posting something on social media that feels like a little cringy, right? Or a little controversial. That's taking risk. And the most expansive things come out of taking risk like that. And I think risk for a lot of women, you think of risk and you think of money, and it's like, no, it doesn't have to be about money. It can just be about making a decision that feels a little bit scary and uncomfortable. And yeah, I'm a shining example of this. I do this every day. It's the way that I grow. It is truly, truly the way that I grow. And here's a hack, by the way, on taking risk. It's sometimes as simple as leaving your house. Get out of your home office, your kitchen table, close your laptop, go to an event, go do something social. The best things come out of doing this. And in fact, it allows me to take more risk. Like when I go out and I talk to people, it actually fuels my risk-taking appetite. And yeah, I just got invited to an event. I'm heading to one today. I'm going to speak at an event. And I know something amazing is going to come out of it because it beats sitting here looking at my inbox doing administrative work. So go out there, leave your house, go do the things outside in the universe. I know COVID's really made us like want to stay at home, and it takes a lot more effort sometimes to leave the house. So I get that. But I'm here to help you. Let's do this. Let's go out. Let's go into the universe, meet people, be social. It feels great. It really does. The next thing I would say that has really helped me raise the bar on myself in this new phase of life is my gratitude practice. And I really wasn't a huge journaler. It's funny, when I was a kid, I would journal almost every night, and I kind of lost that. But I've really noticed that all of the things around personal development and mindset, is everything. It is the mindset you have is going to define how successful you become, both as a business owner and as a parent. And when we change the outlook on the trade-offs, we shift perspective from chasing to being present and being grateful. And so here's one thing that's been really great. And again, it's a little unconventional. It's not the journaling, it's not the meditation. I think those are all great things. And if you can integrate them into your practice, kudos. But this is an interesting exercise I do weekly when I feel it most, and I call it the future frame. Okay, so hear me out. So imagine yourself, this is like what I do if I'm really feeling stuck in a moment and I just need to feel grateful for where I am. I imagine myself decades from now, 70, 80, 90 years old, okay? I have a full life. I've built a beautiful life. You've seen the seasons come and go, and you look back at this younger version of yourself, tired, messy bun, juggling the kids, work, everything between. And from that vantage point, you'd think, wow, she's so young. She has so much energy. She's so vibrant. She has so much possibility ahead of her. And I opened my eyes after thinking about this and that future frame of myself. And suddenly what felt really heavy in that moment feels a lot lighter. And because instead of zooming in on the chaos, you're actually zooming out into gratitude. And I just find this gratitude practice it is kind of meditate, you're going into a meditative state because you're going into a visualization exercise, and it is just so powerful. And that's really been one way that I raise the bar on myself, because again, going back to mindset, if you're not in a good headspace, then you can't show up for your kids, right? And you can't show up for your business. So I really take a second and I do this future frame, and wow, it's so powerful, guys. I urge you to try it. It's just really, really beautiful. And, you think about when you're doing this future frame, you picture yourself as this 90-year-old person, and your body is in so much pain and you can't get out of bed. And then you think about yourself now and you're like, wow, I can actually get out of bed with no pain right now. I mean, or not a lot of pain. And I can just like walk and brush my teeth and carry my kids. That is so powerful to think about that. And it makes you not think about or take anything for granted. Yeah, there's just like so many little things you can do in that future frame. You can even think of like your toddler like interrupting you on a Zoom call, and then your older self reminds you one day you're going to miss that sound of that little voice. And sometimes I cry doing this, and I think it's like a beautiful moment and practice because it really makes you grateful for where you are in your life right now. It doesn't erase the hard, but it definitely reframes it. And it's just, I urge you to try this. It's a beautiful gratitude practice. So those are the three things. I'm gonna like give it to you again in short bites right now. So the three things, here we go. Stretching over sweating. That's my first one. The physical care like is everything. So reframe the movement. It doesn't have to be a perfect workout. Do mobility instead of a HIIT workout. You know, whenever the stretching happens, as long as you're doing it consistently every day or every morning, that's, you know, the act of honoring your body, which matters more than the intensity, right? The second one is about taking at least one risk every day. Again, the most uncomfortable part of your day, but it's going to be the most rewarding. And number three, the gratitude practice, the future frame reset. I mean, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like things are hard, you don't know which way to turn. Sit back, close your eyes, think of yourself as that 90-year-old woman. You will feel grateful right after, and you'll be in such a great headspace. So I hope that was helpful for you. And I'm really excited for you guys to also be raising the bar on yourselves, because when we do this together, like we all get to feed off each other's amazing energy. And I'm just so excited that you're here and listening and supporting. And I want you to invite other people to join in on the podcast. If there's an amazing episode, share it with a friend, share it with your mom, share it with a sister, share it with anyone in your community. And I want to invite you all to stay here and, you know, listen to the amazing stories that are coming your way. Not be ashamed of wanting both family and ambition. They are both possible. And I am a shining example of this, even though you'll hear about some of my crazy days and crazy hard moments. I mean, life is still life. I was at the hospital this week with my mom. Like, life is still life, but I never want to have women dull or diminish the ambition they have and the fire they have inside of them because they also want to start a family. And I think you really can do it all. It's just a matter of asking for help and, you know, doing things like this to help level up your game. So this really isn't just a podcast. It really is a movement of moms who want to raise kids and raise the bar on themselves. So we're going to raise it up together, you guys, and I can't wait to share more with you. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Love today's episode? Hit subscribe and share it with a friend who'll love it too. For more jam-packed episodes and to connect with me, head to danikagan.com. And hey, the best way to support the show? Leave a 5-star review for me so we can help more people like you raise it up.